Charlie Hurt joins me now. Charlie, before I talk about the legal thing, I got to talk about what Trump just said. You and I know Washington very well. I grew up in Washington, D.C. I didn't find one program, at least one big department that didn't have a lot of waste and fraud. We all knew this was the case, right?
Yeah, and it's kind of funny, actually. The whole DOJ department and Donald Trump is doing what old reporters used to do in Washington, which was find all these outrageous examples of abuse and wasted money and perhaps even stealing that goes on in government. And we know it goes on, but it's like the press has been asleep for so long that they've been getting away with more and more of it. And these are just sort of, none of this surprises us.
And they're juicy stories. I mean, what's really unacceptable from our perspective as journalists, they've been avoiding for decades these juicy stories about corruption inside the government.
Yeah. And I think it's twofold. One is because they're sort of, they've become so jaundiced in favor of the bureaucracy. They don't want to ask any really tough questions. And then the other thing is that because Democrats have been in control, during the 8 years of the Obama administration, reporters asked almost zero questions in Washington. Yeah. They didn't want to challenge anything under the Obama regime.
Yeah, they went native. You know, you live in Washington, D.C., you go out and have drinks with people that work in government, you become friends. You want an invitation to a White House dinner and that sort of thing. I mean, that's what's going on.
You don't want to bite the hand that feeds you.
Exactly.
And if you're talking about your sources, you don't want to go after them. But that's like reporting 101. Of course you're going to go after your own sources if they do something wrong.
Well, of course, talking about the people that are really in the middle of all this mix, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer did finally admit, he was shamed into admitting that government does have some wasteful spending. Let me just roll that tape and get your reaction. Go ahead, roll it.
The bottom line is simple. Everyone knows there's waste in government and should be cut, but DOJ is using a meat axe, and they're cutting things that are efficient and effective. If you want to make cuts, then you do it through a debate in Congress, not lawlessly by just implementing them.
Come on, man. I mean, I could only use that old Biden expression. If he knew there was waste, why didn't he and his fellow Democrats do anything about it? And frankly, Republicans as well.
That right there was the waving of the white flag. Chuck Schumer admitting that it is indefensible. The Democrats have no ability to defend this stuff. And so they're acknowledging this. And here's the other thing. What you just said is exactly right. You can't now claim to be on the side of what's right and good after protecting what's wrong and bad for as long as Chuck Schumer has been protecting it. And by the way, if there is valuable spending, and maybe there is some valuable spending in there, I don't know, but if there is valuable spending in there and you care about that valuable spending, then the best way to protect that valuable spending is to not let billions and billions of dollars get thrown away on things that the American people don't want. If you want to protect your ability to do good things in government, then don't do a bunch of bad things. Yeah. But Democrats have led the way in failing to do that.
Okay, I hope I don't reveal too much, but Charlie Hurt, just so you know, lives outside of the Beltway. He lives in a state very close to the Beltway, but far enough away, so he never went native. Charlie, great to see you.
But I did my time.
Yes, you did. You were there. Thank you, Charlie. We'll see you on the weekend on Fox and Friends.
Great to see you, David.